Today I'm going to be answering some of your questions on music production. What's up guys, my name's Noah and you are watching The Productive Producer. So I went online, I dug around and tried to find as many questions as I could and whittle it down to what I thought were the best questions. I've been making music for well over a decade. This is what I do for a living. So I want to use that experience to hopefully help you guys out. So what we're going to do is we're going to read through some of the questions. I'm going to answer them. And if you guys have some more, if you guys like what I'm doing here, and don't forget to subscribe for videos every single Friday. Okay, let's get into some of these questions. First question, how do I extract vocals from a song in Ableton? It's hard to extract vocals from a song in any DAW. There are different kinds of software. Isotope RX does this. Probably the easiest way is to, if you have access to the instrumental, it's got to be the exact same instrumental as the full song that you're trying to rip the vocals from. If you put those on 2 audio tracks and then put a utility plugin, there's a preset under utility called phase invert. If you put that one on either one of the tracks, it will cancel out the instrumental and the vocal will be left there. Should I purchase Ableton 10 Suite? If not, how about Ableton 10 Standard? To me, this really depends on how much producing music is a part of your life. If it is something you do all the time and you want to be doing it all the time for a long time, get Suite. It's way worth it. If you're not really sure, if you don't want to spend that, what's it, like $750? It's a lot of money. And just want to spend about half of that, Standard is a good way to get started. It's not the worst thing in the world. How do I improve my EDM production quality? Well, that's a pretty multifaceted question that I probably can't answer entirely in just a few seconds, but I can tell you that the best way to improve quality of producing music is to produce a lot of it, because you'll be problem solving, you'll be encountering many different scenarios that you can take information from and then apply it to your next track. In order to be a pro, you have to finish music, and the best way to improve the quality of that music is to make more of it. How much should I pay for mixing my song? What's your budget? What are your mixing capabilities? Who would be mixing it in the first place? Does that guy even know how to mix? I would say unless you really have the budget for it, and if you're just so busy with producing new music that you don't have time to mix it yourself, don't bother paying somebody to mix your song. How do I contact music producers that I look up to? Chances are the more popular the music producer is, the harder they are to get a hold of. Remember, like, the best way to really stand out from the crowd of people who are trying to also contact this producer is to offer some value. Think of something that you can offer this producer that will provide value to them, and you might get a response back. What is a good alternative to Omnisphere? Probably Nexus. Nexus 3 just came out recently. I would say that's probably a good alternative. Contact is also a good alternative. It's a little more expensive. Those are probably the 2 top alternatives. What are the pros of actually buying a DAW license? Newbies out there, a DAW, D-A-W, is a digital audio workstation. The pros are easy. You're gonna have less crashes. You're gonna get updates, sometimes free updates if you actually purchase the full version. And you'll be able to contact support if you're having problems. I mean, because a lot of guys, when they have problems with their cracked software, they can't really go to anybody to help them fix it because, well, you kind of stole it. Buy your DAW, guys. If you're serious, go ahead and buy it. Which is better for synth-based music? Ableton, Pro Tools, or Logic? I think you guys know what I'm going to answer here. I think Ableton. If there is a good argument for Logic being better for synth-based music, please type it up in the comments. We will go to war. How does compression and limiting affect your sound? They both control the dynamic range of a sound. Makes the loudest sounds quieter, makes the quieter sounds louder. Do EDM producers mix and master their own music? Most of them do, I would say, but I know there's some that don't. I can't speak for everyone. I mix and master most of my stuff. Occasionally I'll send my track off to be mastered by someone else if I just can't get it as loud as I want it to on my own. But yeah, I can't speak for everyone on that. I want to learn music production and I don't know anything about it. What should I do? You came to the right place. YouTube, for sure. And the Productive Producer YouTube channel is not a bad place to start either. Just going in, watching one tutorial at a time, try to replicate those results inside the DAW, try to just take it one piece at a time. If you could do that, it sort of cements that knowledge into your memory, and you can sort of build off of that for the next one. How do I improve my sound design skills in Ableton Live? Focus on learning what the tools do first. Read the manual. It's like the worst answer, I know. Read the manual, right? So boring, and there's so much to read. But if you can really understand what every knob does, it will help with the sound design process. Because if you don't really know what you're doing, you're not going to be really good at sound design. People who are good at sound design either know exactly what the knob does, or they have done it so many times that they sort of know what's going to happen when they turn this knob. How difficult is it to learn a new DAW when you have a pretty good knowledge of producing? There's a learning curve. You're going to have difficulty at first. It's like kind of like going to someone else's house. You don't know where the cups are or the silverware is. So you're going to have to take some time to learn that as you go along, but eventually it just becomes like a new home to you. How much RAM do you need to run Ableton Live? At least 8 gigs. How can I make my signature sound in all my tracks when producing music with Ableton Live and not have it be repetitive? Well, your signature sound is kind of repetitive. It's a repetition of your signature. That's what a signature is. You don't have to write the same song, but using that same sound palette and sort of similar tropes and motifs in your music, that's what a signature sound is. And if you do that enough, people can hear what that is eventually when they start listening to a lot of your music. It's how producers get a signature sound in the first place. Well guys, that'll do it for today's video. Let me know if you guys like that, or if you have any other questions for the next video, if you want me to do another one of these. If you're interested in getting some studio time with me, click the Calendly link in the description and book some time, and we'll work on your music together. All right guys, we'll see you next Friday. Peace. Yeah, run the track. I'm getting